enthusiastic, Liam.
Okay, now we're live.
We are live here at SRL 360 headquarters, and I am joined here by Tim James and Lachlan Martin. We will be joined by Jack Carl later and Joshua Butterfield later. How are you, boys?
I'm doing good, mate.
I'm always good when it's SRL 360 time.
That's
Yeah. Gotta never stop
Hey.
the grind.
Yeah, we're never going to stop the grind here at SRL 360. You know, it's a bit of a grind here where we've got the SRL games each week, and then we've got this brilliant podcast to look forward to. And we've got a lot to talk about tonight.
We do.
Of course, there's been a bunch of drama in the SRL this week. But let's get on to the games of the week, the games we had last week. What was the first one, boys?
I actually don't know. What was the first game?
It was the
Broncos Eels.
Broncos Eels game was first, yeah.
Broncos Eels game. What do you guys think
Yeah,
of that game?
Was not a bad game, was it? Blake Harris,
No.
he had an absolute.
No, Liam, you're mistaken. It was a bad game.
I mean,
Commentators, the
Blake-
worst game in the history of the SRL.
Blake
12
Harris
errors.
really.
12 errors
Blake
by
Harris
the Broncos. That is abysmal.
Blake
Yeah.
Harris was absolutely incredible, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was, mate.
Amazing.
Probably his best game of his career. I think, he really came into that fullback role nicely. I was a bit worried about him doing it. I thought of more as that one of those, that ball running. I was a bit concerned of him at the back there. I thought of him more like a playmaker rather than a ball runner, which I feel like a 5'8" needs to be. But I felt like he did really well, scoring a hat-trick there. Not only did he score a hat-trick, the debutant, Seamus Wilson, scored a double. And then Luke Short, the captain, scored a double within the first 20 minutes. So, lots of happy campers at the Bronco Eels after that victory.
Why did he only play 20 minutes, you can ask, though? It was a little bit too little time for him, the captain. I don't get why they played him for 20 minutes. Maybe they could have played. I reckon they should have been at least play him for 40.
Yeah, well, if they played him for 40, then maybe he scores a hat trick. Could you imagine that Luke Short with the hat trick?
Oh
I
my
wouldn't be
god.
surprised, mate.
Yeah, but on that note, I do think that there's a couple plays there that I think the Eels were very good there, but I also just think that they got help with how the fact the Broncos were just bad.
Yeah, all those errors, mate. There's just, I don't know what happened with the Broncos. Maybe they just weren't clicking with each other or anything. But 12 errors is just out of this world.
Yeah, I think the
Well,
drama
I mean-
that's
that was.
been at that club over the past 2 seasons. Season 2 there was a lot of drama at season 3, sorry. But it was just luckily that they just managed to pull through. And then this season it's gotten so much worse.
Yeah, they can't help it no more. It's just gotten bad, and I don't know. I feel really bad for Broncos. They have such a good young squad with them, and then this is all falling down, I guess.
Now, obviously, we'll sort of talk more about the Broncos later. Obviously, with the the recent news of Justin Plays. Obviously, we made a decision to relinquish Justin Plays of his duties for season 5. We'll talk more about that later. But I won't say too much on the situation. We'll get to it more later. But did this performance pretty much? Do you think this performance sort of sealed his fate after it was played out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably did. But, I mean, there wasn't a lot that. Was this the week that he had himself at fullback?
Yeah, he had himself fullback. He had, I don't know if there was much he
Probably,
could have done.
yeah. It wasn't really. He just
His
wanted
team-
to change it up.
His team, I don't even know what happened. They just were not at all good. And, as much as this, shit we put on the Broncos, I thought this game they should have won. The Eels side, 7 rookies they have in their side, they had no right to win that game. No right to even go close, to be honest. With that back line the Broncos have, they've got Luke Moscow, Sam Herbin, Levi Raymond, Tyler Weston, Justin Plays. They should be doing a lot better than that.
Yeah, 100%. I think the But the thing is, though, fair play to Parramatta. I'll give it to them.
Oh yeah,
But
obviously. Go on, sorry,
when
Liam.
when the Broncos make 12 errors, I think it is kind of a fact that 12 errors, and a lot of them would have been inside the Parramatta's half. So Parramatta would have got a lot of great ball, and I think that really let them do a lot of damage, which they hadn't really had access to for most of the season because, that's what they'd been struggling to find. They'd been struggling to find ball in opposition's halves. Because you look at that Raiders game, they barely could get any ball in the Raiders half, whereas that game, when they got ball in the Broncos half, they were very, very good converting their chances.
Yeah, look, I
Yeah.
think when you look at some of their players there, I think some of them have been massively underperforming this season. I mean, Levi Raymond gave us all a taste of what he can do last season to begin, obviously scoring the first 2 tries for the Broncos of the season, before setting up 5 tries the next week, and then going pretty much the rest of the season without even having a try assist next to his name. And then this season, what's happened? Like, I don't know if I've noticed them all season. There's other guys there, Simon Hunt had an average season considering he was probably Penrith's best forward in an underwhelming season last season. Hasn't even gone close this season. Luka Moscow has had moments, but that's all about his had too.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should stop bashing the Broncos. Should we move on?
Yeah, let's move on
yeah.
to the next game.
Let's actually.
And can we just skip this game? I really don't want to talk about
I'll skip this game if we can skip the Panthers game.
it. Then we'd only have 2 games to talk about.
Yeah, okay.
No,
Anyway, moving on. I'll let Tim start with this one.
What game is it we're talking about?
Rabbitohs Manly.
Yeah, it just looked like, the season 3 and 2 grand final all over again. I guess Rabbitohs, they look damaging against like every other team. But Manly, man, they're just too good, and they've just shown that they're just the best team out there again. Souths are just, I don't know what happened, man. Like, I forgot to watch the game, but like it seemed like Souths just could not stop. Like, they couldn't stop Manly. They're just damaging as. Joey Kelly, he picked up 2 tries. He was I seen he looked pretty damaging, and Kane as always, scoring. But Souths, they just struggled to make meters off their line, and they just kept missing tackles. Chase Williams on the wing, man, he missed 4 tackles.
No, he played center.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and I think some of them missed tackles came in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, the middle defense was just, I don't know. You got to work on that, but House and Manly, they just shown that they're just the best team out there. By obviously playing that game, and I'm sorry, Liam, if you had to witness that.
Yeah.
Let someone else take over.
Yeah,
I
look,
mean,
the
for me,
oh, sorry.
you go lock. You go lock.
Yeah, look,
I'll
I
give
think
my
with the
take off.
Rabbitohs, they're very lucky in this game. Manly switched off after with 20 minutes to go. If Manly wanted to, they probably could have scored an extra 3 tries, put 50 on them. I think they got very lucky. I think the score probably flatters the Rabbitohs to be completely honest here. I think they're very lucky they got within. I think they scored a try on the buzzer as well as one with like 5 to 10 minutes to go. Am I correct in saying that?
So,
I don't know. I think I'll give.
Yeah, go on, Liam. Sorry.
I think personally, I think we did very well in that first half to make it 12-all just before halftime, and then a stupid read by Tyrone Clay just went straight, and Joey Kelly just runs around him, and then we let in, and then we make an error early in the second half that just turned the momentum. It was just like, as Tim said, Manly. But the only thing I'm frustrated with is really we made too many errors. Like we flooded Manly with, even though they made 5 errors, we flooded them. You can't make errors against Manly if you want to win the game.
exactly.
You can't make any. And we made far too many for what we needed to do and I thought we were quite lucky to be 12-all, and we've just blown it. We've blown the chance to come back into the game. absolutely blown it, and you don't get that chance very often to break their streak. So I was just a little bit disappointed with blowing that chance. But other than that, I think we're improving. We're improving, even though we've had 2 losses. I think we improved this week, much better than what we were against the Cowboys. I think Allison playing 80 minutes is definitely an improvement. Thought Carl was quite decent. Clay was quite good in fullback. Yeah, I think we're improving.
Yeah. Lachlan, what's your take on this, mate?
I think the Rabbitohs were pretty bad. Obviously, I can't really talk spinner for and shit,
obviously.
but you know, it's interesting because I think Manly shot. I think Rabbitohs, they had moments where they looked really, really solid, Rabbitohs, but when they, like, as I said earlier, Manly just put just let go of the handbrake. They just did not handbrake. They put the brakes on. I guess is the better term to use. They sort of, I think they could have won. They could have scored 50 if they wanted to, and I think they just sort of, I guess, stopped really, not necessarily trying, but they weren't really, like, they could have put a lot more points on, I think. And I think when I hit 50 to 34 to 12 or whatever it was with like 25 minutes to go, I thought Manly were going to flog him. I do disagree with you in the fact I think you played better last week, Liam, as a team.
I disagree. I completely disagree. I think we were much better.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with Liam.
You disagree that your team was much better?
No, he agrees that we were much better this week.
Oh, okay.
I think last week you stayed in the contest for at least a while.
We stayed in a contest against worse team.
Manly are clearly the top gob, and we did very well for 40 minutes, which is very hard to do. So,
I think, yeah, but like, I think you guys were better last week. I think you guys, there were moments last week where I thought you guys were going to beat the Cowboys. This week, I don't remember once thinking, oh man, Rabbitohs might have them here. Not once.
I think I thought 1 point. I think I did get a little excited, but I thought there was at least 1 point where I thought, okay, maybe we do have a shot. It was at 12-all was when I thought.
Well, you guys 12-all against Manly.
We did get to 12-all. I scored.
Oh no, you did right just before half time, and that's another point.
Yep, that was a 12-point turnaround. That was what killed us. We had a 12-point turnaround. They went just before halftime. I think someone made a stupid error near our line. Gave Manly it was a kick that let Manly go down the other end, and then we scored. They scored through Joey Kelly, and then we also made an error at the start of the second half, and then they scored again to make it a 12-point lead.
Yeah, I do remember that
just
now.
Killed us.
I still think that even with that in mind, I still think that Manly, they like, I get you guys got into like, what was it, 2 points at one point, or you tied it up, but
It was tied.
Take out that 5-minute period and you guys don't score outside the time of 10. Like, it was back-to-back tries, wasn't it? Or very close to back-to-back.
No, I think it was 20. Was it 20 minutes?
I don't
It was
even
about
know.
20 minutes. And
Look, I think you guys were better last week. I think you guys had a more consistent performance last week. I think you take out... Cowboys were dominant for about 10 minutes and that killed you last week. I think this week, Manly were dominant for most of the game.
Manly weren't even dominant.
You guys were decent this week. I'm not saying you guys were necessarily bad.
Minutes.
You guys were playing
I think
Manly.
Manly were dominant 5 minutes. Not really. Were dominant for little periods.
It's an interesting one this week because I think, yeah, you guys still weren't on the same level. We're interested to see. I think it's out between you guys and Warriors for remake finals. We'll get to that.
I think Warriors.
Yeah.
I think Warriors are gonna make it, to be honest.
I agree.
No,
Yeah,
Warriors. South. Sorry.
I don't know.
think you guys
Man.
told us
I
yesterday,
disagree. I don't know. As a South player, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Warriors are just too good for us at the moment. I don't think we'll get in.
The Warriors are flying.
It really depends on this week.
Yeah.
If the
We
Panthers are
need
able
to win. No, it doesn't really, but it's as long as we don't cough up, this doesn't really change much, really.
We got
Oh, yeah.
first this week.
Oh, who are Warriors
Okay.
versus? Sorry,
they're versing the Panthers.
just does, but
Um,
Warriors still seem like a
Look, we'll get a bit
another
of track.
level.
I think we'll move on to the next game now. Does that suit everyone?
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
we'll move on to the final game, actually, because I don't... Okay, then. I guess...
No, we
Alright,
talk.
let's go, mate.
No, you have to talk about this one.
I know. Yeah, we were bad. I'm not even going to sugarcoat. We were bad.
Yeah, so I guess Penrith aren't making the finals now, Lachlan.
Yeah, we're not making
Oh, it's
finals.
possible.
No,
it's
it is possible, but
It's
it won't happen.
possible, but like,
It's possible,
not
but it won't
happening.
happen. And I'll tell you what needs to
Yeah.
happen in order for us to make finals. We have to... First, we have to hope Broncos beat the Rabbitohs this week. Right? That's already very unlikely. We then have to hope...
You beat the Warriors.
Yeah, we beat the Warriors. Obviously, we have to win both our final games. We also have to hope Broncos win decently against the Rabbitohs to knock their for and against down. We then have to hope, like,
And then
we
you would
smash
have
the
to hope-
Warriors, and then I think Rabbitohs win by, like, a little bit would get us over. But not by much. Doing by too much, then they could leapfrog us again. So, it is possible. I don't see it happening. I don't see a universe where it happens, to be honest. Which is unfortunate, because I really want to make finals, but it's fair enough.
Lachlan, what are you going to do if you finish fifth again?
I think we'll finish sixth, though, so I don't think that's an issue. And if we finish
I don't
fifth...
think it's.
I don't really care if we
finish.
finish fifth. I care about us finishing fifth and then being on the same points as fourth. But yeah,
Yeah.
we were bad this game. And look, I think we should, like, I think the Cowboys were very good, but we were bad. Like, we were bad.
You guys made 9 errors.
There's no, I'm, like, trying to look for positives, and I'm looking at the most minuscule things for positives. Like, I'll admit it, I made a mistake in the lineup. I shouldn't have took Ash Crutcher off when I did. My mistake. Shouldn't have done that, but even
You
so.
put Ash Crutcher
I don't
prop.
really think taking Ash Crutcher off made a huge difference.
I
in
don't
the
think it did
game,
either.
though.
I think maybe we still lost by 18 or so. But yeah, we were bad. That was not a good performance to watch.
It was just the errors, man. Like, you needed to cut out the errors. It's just one of those teams where you can't make errors against.
It's not even that though. Like, we
Yeah.
just... There were moments to begin the game, right? We actually started really well, I thought, to be fair. We were already 8-0 at half time. Before that, we had moments. You know, there was a forward pass to Marshall Edwards, which if they went back, would have been a try, and I thought it was flat. But even so, we still got smashed, so it doesn't matter in the end. But yeah, we were bad. The Cowboys, they were on fire. Tyler Matangi looks really good. I think their spine is starting to take control, similar to what they did last season. But yeah.
Yeah. Alright,
I think
we'll
it's
move on to
just
the next game. Oh, okay, sorry. Mate.
that I think it is just it shows where the defense is. To be fair, I think that it's just wrapping up fullbacks, and if you can wrap them up, then it makes a huge difference. Because I think Armentangi had been quiet for quite a few weeks, and that game he just wasn't. Cowboys, and it shows how I think the Cowboys forward pack was very good, which just made it easy for Armentangi. When your forward pack's rolling, it's just makes such a difference. And fair play to Armentangi. He's very, very good. 10 line breaks. I mean, just amazing.
He's such a damaging fullback.
He really is. And
Great to see.
what was the next game? It was Raiders Warriors.
It was Raiders
Alright.
Warriors. It was a great game. In my opinion, greatest game of like the entire SRL history or season at least.
I don't know. I missed the ending of it. I missed the second half.
Right,
I was busy in the
we
second
were down 18-0 at the second, second half, right?
That's-
And then we came back, and at the end, right, they kicked a field goal, and then Eli Barnes does some magic and just scores at the end to win us the game.
The
I was
Warriors...
actually so surprised.
The Warriors have an issue that needs to be addressed, though. And
Is
that's
it?
fading out of games. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they've done a similar thing early this season at some point. Maybe not to that extent, but I feel like at some point they have maybe. Manly's another example. They stayed in the game for most of the Manly event and just faded out at the end. That was still much more extreme, obviously. I think that's the only actual example we have. Maybe round 1. Open round 1 over bit deals. So yeah. This game was really bad though. 34-11 was the second half score. That's bad. That's a bad second half performance.
It's crazy. I know how you like. It's just they fell off in the second half. I guess they just let us back into the game.
You had like that first half was a dominant display by the Warriors, but they do have another concern they need to address, and that's their kicking game.
Oh yeah, like if John McCartney just punted it down the field, like just put it down the field, they would have won the game.
3 kick return tries they had, so it's also their kick chase needs to be worked on.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, when you you go, Lachlan.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Liam, but yeah, with the I don't know what the Warriors can fix about it, but they need to do something quickly because that's something that can be exploited. But McCartney kicks like that against Penrith. Penrith have pretty good outside backs play. Let's say that with Penrith. Robbie Elms and Marshall Edwards are no slackers when it comes to kick return tries. They've both scored. I know they've both scored at least a couple this season of kick returns. That is something they need to watch out for Warriors. Their kick chase and their kicks.
That's where maybe the Rabbitohs can leapfrog the Warriors is I know we're not even though we did I think it was a kick return try off Manly, we haven't let too many kick return tries in this season. So I think that may be somewhere we can leapfrog the Warriors. But who knows?
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next segment. What is it, boys? Is it time for the news of the new Broncos captain?
I think so.
There's a new Broncos captain?
Yeah, there's no new Broncos
I think
captain.
so.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was just checking. I just forgot.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got the so we got the new. If anyone hasn't heard,
Should we actually before we do this, we should probably talk about the actual sacking process first, shouldn't we?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So there was in midweek there was a announcement that went on where Justin Player has been sacked. Boys, what are our thoughts on this?
like-
It needed to be done.
I
I've
feel
been
like
saying
I
it for-
should speak over this first since I'm the man who made the decision. Fuck off. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't. Oops. How do I fix this up?
What
Oops. I'm just ignore that. I accidentally clicked off the screen. I just accidentally clicked on to I clicked off full screen on the thing. Just ignore that, people. Anyways, sorry about that. I just had a little bit of an F-bomb in there. We'll just ignore that though.
Go on.
Yeah, so look, the reason that we made the decision, right, and it's nothing personal to Justin. Justin was still a really good captain in terms of submitting team list, interchanges, doing stuff that needed to be done. He was really good on that. However, we just felt like that we felt like he was going to struggle to make sign plays for a few reasons. First of all, he doesn't have any connections in the league. Right? Second of all, he doesn't really have a leadership team that really helps with a lot of stuff. It seems like he does most of it, and there's no proof to us that he does much else. That may be true, but that's just the way we sort of see it. Again, nothing personal to Justin. It wasn't just going to the team's list selections. It was just we felt there was a lot of pressure putting on Justin because it was sort of just him on his own. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, look, I feel that's why you did need to get rid of him. You said it perfectly. He didn't have that leadership group that was kind of supporting him there, and he probably wouldn't have been able to get some decent signings for next season. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't able to attract players. He wasn't really able to attract players as some of the other captains could, which is really a big thing in the SRL. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for Justin, but like I just think some of his like I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of his captaining, to be honest. And I don't say this in like a harmful or offensive way to him, but like I was just not a fan of how he did some quite selfish things. If I say he putting himself as goal kicker, putting himself at fullback. I don't know, but he's still a good captain, and I respect him for that. Yeah,
Look, I'll say
things
something about
happens.
Justin. He had balls to make some decisions that no one else would. Right?
Yeah, I'll give him that. Yeah, I do give him that. I will give him
Like,
that.
I don't know another captain in the league that would have the guts to move someone like Herman from fullback.
Exactly.
But it is what it
Yeah,
is.
well-
I think we should move on from this subject. That's, I think, something man dealt with.
Yeah, it's been dealt with.
Yeah.
Wish Justin all the best. Right, what's
So
up
shall
next,
we get
man?
on to the? Shall we get to the announcement of the new captain? So we've got an announcement from the SRL HQ that has got the captaincy of the Brisbane Broncos being announced on, I think it was Wednesday evening,
It was yesterday evening.
and Thursday evening.
Same, same.
And we've given, and Jack Carl has been given the captaincy for the Brisbane Broncos, and we got him on for a little bit of an interview. Hey, hello, Jack Carl.
Hey, what's
Hey, what's going on, Jack?
nothing much? I'm pumped for the interview.
You're all right. So who's got questions first, guys? Because I don't have any.
Awesome.
You don't know me, boys?
Look,
I have
quick
questions.
question.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
no,
go first,
No,
Butters.
Lachlan, Lachlan.
No, if,
Ladies
we
first.
want to guess. You go first.
Ladies first, Lachlan.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
What's your so obviously, Jack? They got a lot of dramas at the Broncos. Do you plan on addressing that when you step into the office? I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I was at the Broncos during season 3, as many people know. I kind of experienced a bit of that toxicity that's at the club before it really ramped up this season. I gotta say, I feel bad for the cards that Justin Plays was dealt, because there's some not great characters at the Broncos currently, and I will say I have already started to clean some of those players out. I think that the club needs a massive culture shift, because it's a very toxic environment at the moment, and it'll be a very different looking team next season.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment there. I think I think as we talked about before, there are a lot of dramas this season. Justin Plays, as I said, he was dealt some difficult cards, but I felt, as I said earlier, sort of the reason we sort of got is he sort of doesn't have as many connections. Obviously, Jack, you're pretty good friends with some of the Souths boys. Some other people know you quite well in the league. How much are you poaching with them? Just
Uh-huh.
Well, I
we
think-
have, be careful what you say,
maybe-
by the way. We have Liam Ryan on here, so he's your
Yeah.
current.
I think we can ask Liam Ryan and Butterfield that question.
Yeah, look, we haven't had a great couple of days. It's been a couple that we've
Busy
been
days?
told. Yeah, been a couple busy days.
You guys are losing people pretty much.
Only a
I won't say any names, but there's a few big guns. I'm pretty happy with my recruitment so far, or possible recruitment, and
Do you want to give us this?
a few of them are Souths. A few of them are Souths players.
Damn. Ultimate poaching. All right.
Now, look, obviously, you sort of lead a leadership crew to go behind you. Do you have any sort of ideas on what criteria you're looking for a leadership team?
Yeah, well, so I had to think about it. Over the past few days, and while building the leadership group, I think I've learned some lessons from how Plays dealt with it. I think that Plays had a few players around him in his leadership group that weren't big fans of him. So I've kind of dealt the way I've built my leadership group so far is I've gone primarily with people I get along with, first and foremost, and people that I respect. I think that if I respect them, I can take advice from them really well, and we can build more on each other's thoughts if we know each other really well. So there's a few players there that so I've got 3 players in the leadership group at the moment. That will probably be it. And all 3 of them I get along with great, and I think we're gonna have a good season.
Fair enough. Anyone else have questions? I've sort of carried this interview. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Come on,
Yeah.
come on, Liam Ryan.
What kind of made you take this role? Obviously, it's a big job to take, and I had a lot of scrutiny from the media this past season. So what really made you?
What made
What really made me take the role?
Yeah.
Look, I think it's a combination of things. I think it's a great opportunity first and foremost. Not many people get the opportunity to be a captain in the SRL, so I think it's a great chance to have that role. I quite like the Broncos. I'm a Queenslander IRL. Broncos probably my second team. So I love the club, and I want to see it do really well. I've been watching in a bit of pain as the Broncos have gone 0-5 so far to start the season, and I just really want to help rebuild the place and hopefully get the Broncos premiership.
Are you worried that
sorry.
Are you worried that people within the original Broncos squad are going to look illy against this captaincy? It seems though you've been to, well, what is it, 3 clubs now in 3 seasons. You came from outside the club, and they kind of didn't have a say in it.
I think that's a really great point, actually. I think that is a really good point you raise. I've spoken to a few of the boys I plan on keeping. They all seem pretty good with the situation, and I know that a few of the boys who are being let go are very understanding at the moment. I think everyone's pretty okay with it. There might be 1 or 2 players that are a little upset, but overall, I think most of the boys are pretty happy.
Just a quick question, Jack Carl. Why do you think you deserve the role over, some Broncos players that are currently there? Like, what makes you different to others?
What makes me different than others?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I think
what could you bring to the team? Like, what do you think you can bring to the team to make it better? If you don't mind me asking.
I think I have a lot of time on my hands. I'm very young. I'm still in school. I'm not particularly busy, so I've got a lot of time to spend on rebuilding the club. I think I've got a lot of effort to spend. I've got some great knowledge of Rugby League Live 4. I've got close to 5,000 hours on the game. I know how it works. And like Lachlan mentioned earlier, I've got some great connections around the league, and I think it'll only get better.
Oh, thank you.
I think that's a great point you raise. I mean, connections is a very, very important thing in the SRL. I mean, if you don't have connections as a captain, I mean, you really aren't going to get yourself anywhere. Because if you don't have any connections, then who are you signing? You're just going up to someone, oh, hey, can I sign you? You don't know them, and that makes it a lot harder. It is very hard. That's kind of what the season 1 captains were dealing with. You didn't really have any connections outside the SRL, but I think it's a great point you raise.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't have any questions.
Yeah,
I'm very bad at asking questions. I'm not a reporter, man.
Yeah, he's just the host. He just sits there.
Anyone else have
I'll
any
just-
questions for him?
Did you got
Yeah,
any more?
I got one more. Talking about leadership group, are any of them of original Broncos players, as in players from season 3, season 4?
I've looked completely out of the club for that. Mainly due to the fact that I don't think that the current Broncos are going to be staying. There's only a few players that I intend to keep. Obviously, Justin is one of them. I think that he'll be around. But other than that, there's not really too many people from the season 3 Broncos squad that'll be hanging around next season. So I've looked outside the club, and like I said, I've gone for that. Connectivity thing. People that I connect with really well, and there's not really too many in the Broncos.
And you're not worried that maybe you don't have you won't get the same kind of info you will from a person who has been 0-5 and knows what happened in the club last season to kind of help you not make the same mistakes.
No, I'm not too worried about that. I think that we've got enough experience in this leadership team that I'm building that I don't think it's too much of an issue. If the thing is, my feedback circle will not purely just be my leadership group. I intend on speaking with every player quite often. So the few Broncos that do survive, if it comes to it, I can talk to them. But overall, I'm not too concerned about that.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Yeah, I have nothing left.
Fair
I'm
enough.
sorry.
Yeah, fair enough. It's a very interesting matter as the Broncos next season. I mean, I think definitely it's going to be an improvement and something brilliant for
For the future.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, look, I think
Oh.
the Broncos, it's going to be an interesting rebuild. They'll have to get all the toxic, I can't say the word, toxicity out of there. Otherwise, they will still struggle to recruit players. But I believe that, I don't regret my decision at the moment. I still think yourself, Jack, will make an excellent captain. I think the Broncos are going to be a team to watch next season.
Most definitely, yes.
Well, I think if that's it, Jack Carr, I guess we can let you go.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you later.
Oh,
been,
thanks,
been a
Jack.
pleasure to chat with you boys.
Been a pleasure,
Thank you.
mate. Been a pleasure.
I'll see you later.
So we've got the next matter of the SRL 360 tonight. We've got the Knights. The new team, of course. They go into it is very funny, isn't it, with how the Knights are sort of a couple of teams are rebuilding, sort of similar to how the Knights are trying to build a club. It's very interesting, and I'm very interested to see what the Knights are doing with who are they trying to attract, because there is fair few players. There's not many golds, and it's going to be very hard for them to get their hands on some.
Yeah, look, I'm actually quite worried about the Knights, to be honest, because I've heard close to nothing about the signings, and I've heard quite a lot of signings that are looking like they'll take place. Obviously, not just from my club, from other clubs, and I'm starting to wonder where are these players going to come from for the Knights. I think there's one player I think might be signing there. I think, now this is all pure speculation, but I think you might find a player like Isaac Edwards might be heading over there. A couple others maybe. I'm just worried where the Knights are going to get the players from, because they already have, I believe all 3 of their players are free silver, so that's 3 of their silvers locked up, but I don't know where they're... I'm worried they might end up just with the Broncos leftovers, to be honest.
Yeah, it is really worrying. I mean, the Knights, they're going to have to, and I know they're saying they're taking their time, but with their signings and all that, they don't want to get anyone. They don't want to get anyone who they don't believe is going to be a good signing. But seriously, how are they going to be able to do that if they can't attract anyone? If they're just going to be all the Broncos rejects.
I am worried about the Knights. I think look, the Knights up there, they've been very quiet. The three of them, Logan, Jack, and Mark. I have
Scheming.
I have no idea who they're going after. Literally none. I think that I don't know where the signings come from because I know of a lot of players who are leaving, a lot of players who aren't leaving. There's got to be I think there'd be a big sign that they have that we don't know of. Maybe maybe Matthew Harris. That would be pretty big. Maybe one of the
From what
Cowboys
I've
boys.
heard.
I think that's the club they would look towards because the Cowboys do have a lot of players that are off contract.
Do they though?
Not off contract, sorry, that are silvers and they can't retain. They have 9 silvers out of a possible 6.
Oh, they do, don't they?
Yeah. So maybe that's the team they look towards. I think it'll be interesting moving forward.
Yeah. I think they're just scheming and silently. They don't want to attract too much attention. I can see what they're doing, I guess. Oh, what's it?
Well, I think it all depends on sort of what what sort of players they want to club. I know they'll be looking for a good culture, so they're not going to go get anyone. But I think they'll have about 4 or 5 rookies on the team, to be honest. I think the rest will be a mix of experienced players, but also a couple guys who don't really have their faces known in the SRL that much. Is there any players in particular we think that would be perfect for the Knights next season? Obviously, that players are realistic for them to get.
I don't know. Joshua Butterfield.
Well, we have him in
It's
chat.
Funny one, isn't it?
I don't know,
Funny one.
man.
I think
Tim
there's one.
James?
I think there's one player they could go after, right? I think I honestly think that I feel like this is the type of player they could go after and get him because they'd be giving him starting spot. Suleiman Eagles would be a pretty good signing for them. They could get him.
Oh, mate,
They
just
could.
leave the bloody Raiders players alone. We don't want you as a guy. We're trying to keep them all right.
It's very hard, Tim. I mean, can you help us with some of the luck that you're getting? Send it over to South, please.
Luck. Are you sure we have luck, man?
No,
Jeez.
luck. I mean, on keeping your players.
There ain't no luck in keeping our players, man. I'm telling you that.
To be fair, Rabbitohs.
Rabbitohs
They've
are
been
suffering.
they got stuff last season. I hate to see it happen again.
I don't know, man.
What do you mean stuff last season?
You guys lost a lot. You guys lost a lot of players last season, didn't you? You lost Isaac Ash.
Yeah, we lost Crutcher. Yeah, we did lose. We lost 7 players or
I'm
something.
sure they're not that much of a loss.
You're
Jesus.
funny, aren't you?
I also wouldn't be surprised to see a player like Robbo Momenston move over there.
Yeah,
I think he's from the area, so I think that would be a player that we could see
Yeah,
make the
decent
switch.
Yeah. Definitely. It could be a very good underrating signing. I mean, Robbo Mobison's always been very solid. And I think he'd just be he'd be able to go to the Knights and go, he'd be able to go,
Just slot
this
straight
is
in.
how to be an SRL footballer. And
He'd just
just-
slot straight in. I think he'd get the lock roll too. I think
Yeah.
though. I think my prediction for the Knights at the moment is I think they'll sign
is
two.
Strained at second row.
No, he's a lock prop hooker. I think he'll play prop.
Really think so. I think they'd
Yep.
have I think Strange will play lock.
Fair enough then.
I think
He's playing
Strange will
prop right now for
lock
the
them,
for the Warriors, so I think that could be a good.
but he's
shout for
also
him to
not the
continue there.
captain for them, so
Yeah, no, but we'll have to see then. I think another thing we might see happen is I think we might see Jack O'Neill play fullback for them, and we then get another two halves. We know he's very keen to play fullback. I think that he'll be looking to get his hands more on the ball, and I think that's what we'll see them do.
Yeah, he's a great fullback, Jack O'Neill. I might say that. No, I
think
would be keen to
O'Neill-
see him. I'd be keen to see him play fullback at the Knights. To be honest,
I think if he played fullback in the Knights, he'd do a hell of a good job.
he would.
The question is, can they get a fullback that can roll forward for them to be able to allow him to do that?
Yeah, you need one. And I think that what they want is guys who know what they're doing in the SRL and guys who are experienced enough to get them to roll forward and then get the attack spark. Because we know Jack O'Neill has it. We know they have Mark Lee who can lead the side around. I think it'll be interesting. Where will Mark Lee play? I think it depends
Hooker.
on
Has
if
to be
O'Neill.
Hooker. Has to be Hooker.
But what if they don't get halves?
If they don't get halves, then maybe. But even so, I think he's just too good of a hooker. In my opinion.
Fair enough.
I think that's it for the Knights for the moment. They're a team we have to keep an eye on because I have no idea where the signings are going.
Yeah.
I think my prediction at the moment is this season's gonna have the season with the most transfers.
Yeah, I reckon so.
I think
agree,
more than
yeah.
season 1,
Lot of
season 2, and
talk.
season 3, and I think it'll be close to double what most of those seasons. I get the feeling that there are going to be a lot of changes. I think there's going to be some very surprising trades. Ones that none of us know of at the moment. That maybe are kept quiet. Anyway, I think it's time to move on to the
Predictions?
predictions. Yes, for the round ahead tips.
Oh, what's the first game then? Let's go.
First game, I can't check it at the moment. Can someone else check it?
Is it Bronco? I have a feeling it's Broncos Rabbitohs.
Oh, no, I can check it. It's Manly Eels.
Oh, that is just okay. Let me start off with my tips, I guess. I'm gonna say Manly to win by 13 plus, with Casey K to be an anytime try scorer, and I reckon the margin. I reckon it'd be probably like maybe like a 40 to 10.
It's gonna
40
be.
to 10.
I'll tell you what's
Really
concerning
good
about
margin.
this game. I think most of the Manly team have a better speed than Eels' highest play, which is an 88 speed.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty crazy.
They're a million to
Right.
one to win this game.
Yeah,
They have
right.
no shot. It's like it's Lebanon versus Australia.
Mate,
like-
Lebanon have a
Yeah.
chance. Phil.
Like they are.
No, they really don't.
Like they are. If they win, it would be. I know they beat the Broncos last week, but you can't deny how slow their team is.
Yeah.
We know how important speed is. You can't deny that team is slow. They're not going to be able to do anything, and I think this could be an absolute thrashing.
It could be, but what if Manly make errors early on? But to
Well-
be fair, in saying that though, I get Blake Harris had an amazing game last week, but I don't know if because Manly's line speed is so quick that whenever you get the forward of the first receiver, it's just like a man's in their face straight away, and you can't get the ball out to the second man, which is really where the attack comes from.
Yeah,
And
look,
I think it will really struggle.
Manly will definitely be able to shut that Blake Harris. I'm really interested to see how we go in this game. If he can still do what he's been doing all season, just at fullback once again, you know, that's going to show me how good of a footballer he is. He's been very, very solid.
So
I think
it
even
was-
in the halves, he was pretty solid, Blake Harris. I really need to see how he goes. He's at fullback once again this week, I believe.
He has to show his stripes.
Yeah,
Earn
I
his
agree with
stripes,
that.
as they say.
If we look at the
Earn his stripes.
we also should have done this already. We have a quick look at the team list here. Matthew Vaughan gets his first start off his career. That's an interesting one in the 5'8". So
I'm actually really excited for that.
they're testing some stuff out this week.
I forgot Matthew Vaughan even played, to be honest. Oh,
He's a
fans.
really quick half, isn't he?
I don't even know who he is, to be honest.
94
No
speed,
offense, Matt. No
80,
offense.
80 kicking. He's, to be fair though, Tim, you probably haven't heard of him because he got drafted for Manly and's been on the bench all season. I think he had 100 meters
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah, I'll be pretty keen to see how he goes. I'll see how good he
Let me
goes.
check. I'm pretty sure I read his name's having like 100 meters. Let me check. Matthew Vaughan, 105 meters in 41 minutes. I'm not sure where he
That's
played.
pretty
Oh, that's
good.
no, it was that Hooker, wasn't it? Oh, no, that's silly, man.
Alright.
Excuse me. Yeah, I think I'm excited for him, man. Like he's shown some promise in the short time he's got. Yeah, but I think it'll be a thrashing by Manly. So
What do you think the margin and any time try score will be, mate?
I reckon Chaz Dingo get a cheeky try, and I think Manly by 24.
Up
Lachlan,
the
mate?
hill. No, that's the only time I'm going to say that. Look, I hope the Eels can compete with them. But realistically, Manly by how much? Like, if they can even go close to the Manly, I think that's a win. They stay within 1 to 12, I think it's a win from the Eels.
It 100% is. Yeah. We want to move on to the next
Wait.
game.
Yeah.
What's the
Alright,
next game, guys?
It
Is
is.
South?
Broncos Rabbitohs, yep.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, considering how bad Souths have been, but how worse Broncos have been as well, I reckon this is going to be pretty close game. Not going to lie. I can just feel
Really
the
excited
places.
for.
I
I'm
can
really
feel it
excited
being
for.
like a 1 to 13.
I'm really excited for our change this week. It's a very minimal change, you'd say, but I'm really excited for it. Joshua Butterfield, the fullback. I'm really interested to see what he can do. I've been doing some sims on RLF4, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been pretty good. So I'm really excited to see if he can light it up this week. And the thing is, even no offense to the Broncos, but even if Butterfield doesn't play well, I still back our boys to do the job. As long as we can do the job and win, that's all I care about this week. That's all I care about. Because if we can win this week, then no matter how bad we play, as long as we win, then we still got a shot at the top 4.
I hope you guys lose, but being realistic, Rabbitohs should not even. Broncos shouldn't get close here. I think after what they did up last week, maybe they'll do something. Win for Justin. You know, his second last game as captain for them. They've got home back and fullback this week. I think that's a plus.
Urban always likes to score against us. I've noticed that.
They've
He loves
got
to
what I'm
play
really
well
interested in is
against
though
us.
they have a new halfback in Cody Mansell.
So how's he gonna do? You reckon?
I think that'll be an interesting one to look at. They've got
Fair enough.
Crit Alex Chapman back in the second row.
That's a bit interesting. I would
But-
have expected him to young lock.
Yeah, I would have played a lock to be honest too, but I understand the reasoning why. For injury sakes. I think Rabbitohs should win, but I would not be surprised if the Broncos do win. I'm going to say Rabbitohs 13 plus still.
I think it's going to be a close game, to be honest.
No, Broncos have been pretty bad this week.
As long as we don't make stupid errors, I'll back us by a fair margin.
Butters, what do you reckon the game margin will be, mate?
No, it's like going to be 30-0 to Rabbitohs.
I don't think that much, but
No,
I'd be happy.
Look, if I'm being realistic, it'll probably be 10-12. I just
We
don't think
don't-
the Broncos have really shown anything much, and I am really happy with this team. We get Tyler Clay back on the kick returns, which is a big.
I think Butters, you're being a bit too harsh on the Rabbit on our team. I think that I don't know. I think we improve attacking wise with you at fullback. To be honest, I think that Tyrone, we add more with Tyrone coming as the right winger. Yeah, I think it's be interesting, but I just think we have more than 12 points in us. I'm being honest. Let's move on to the next game, though.
What is the next game?
I think it's Raiders.
Is it Raiders?
Let me see. I know Raiders play. They play Cowboys.
Oh yeah, it is the Cowboys. There we
The
go.
Raiders, yep.
The Raiders. He's gonna be. Yeah, I know this is gonna be a close game because both teams are pretty good.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this one. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
it's-
going to be a big battle.
It's not gonna be. It's like,
Yeah, that will decide second, I reckon.
Oh, I don't know. Cowboys have lost this season. Raiders haven't. That's the difference.
yeah.
I think
true.
this is the game the Raiders break their winning streak this season. I think they'll lose this one.
I don't think so, man. I think our teams are still, you know. I don't
They were
think we give
cracks
up
last
just yet.
week. You guys managed to get out of it, but I think this week is the week that it comes down. I still think the Cowboys are the second best team in the league, to be honest.
Well, I'm just gonna be biased here. I'm gonna say Raiders 1-13 or 1-12. And anytime try to score Eli Barnes, you know he likes to score tries, especially game-winning ones too. So hope we see one this week.
I think it'll be very close.
Yeah, it'll be a close game.
I think it'll be like 6. I'll back the Raiders by 6.
I'm backing the Cowboys by about. I'll back about a golden point field goal by Damien Milano. I think it'll be very close.
Right, yeah,
It'll be
mate.
very close.
Oh, what else is your guys' tips?
Others.
I just want to see the Raiders lose. You know,
Oh bloody hell!
nothing against you, Tim. Okay, Tim.
I'm taking much against me, mate. This is bullshit.
Look, it's going to be a close game, in my opinion. I'm saying probably Raiders.
The Cowboys are a lot faster than the Raiders. I think. I
They
think that's a
are.
big difference.
They are, but in my opinion, the backline's a lot more consistent in the Raiders at the moment than the Cowboys.
I would agree with that. I think the Cowboys' back line is hit and miss some games. Some games
Yeah.
are amazing,
They are
other
very
games
hit and
they're
miss.
pretty
The-
average.
The only
It-
the only one that's really been like consistently great has been
Amatangi, I'd
Probably-
say.
Alvatangi. Moana and Caval have been very average.
I wouldn't say average. I'd just say they either have a really good performance or a really average performance. Like, I think the last couple weeks have been really good, but Damon One, he started off the season, like, average at best.
Hmm.
I'd say with him making a lot of errors. I think he's definitely picked up the last couple weeks, but I'd agree with that. But, with that being said, it seems like the final played himself in the form of the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys win here.
Righty, yeah, mate.
Yeah.
You keep saying that.
So what's the next one?
Alright. I think it's Penrith Warriors.
Penrith Warriors. Warriors by 100.
Okay, then.
Yeah, I think Warriors are gonna win this game by quite a nice margin, to be honest. It's they're versing Penrith, and Penrith have don't
I
know, man,
think-
Penrith is shit.
I think we'll do alright. This game, I think Warriors win, but I think maybe like 1-12. I'll take if we keep in the game, we'll be fine with us losing.
I think if you guys don't make errors against them and you actually try and put up a fight, I think it'll be a 1-12 game.
Look, if we can beat the Broncos, I'm hoping for a Penrith win. As long as it's not by much, because that will mean that there's a 2-point gap. But I think the Warriors still have 4 against us. Yeah, they do. We'd have to win by at least a decent margin, and I'd hope we can at least. Yeah, I
You
don't know,
Warriors are on the
it's-
same amount of points, aren't you? Aren't you both two wins, 3 losses?
Yeah, but he's
Yeah,
there a
so
lot.
saying if we win and then they lose, if you beat them.
Yeah, then you guys would
2-point
overtake
gap.
them.
Yeah, but then it
Yeah,
will
but
come
in
back.
round 7, we play in round 7. If we lost,
Oh.
it still wouldn't give us a point gap.
Right.
So we can't just win this week and then hope and then Lockhouse finals spot. We need to win both games. So
Fair enough then.
Penrith winning, but it would give us a leg up if Penrith won. But it doesn't really change much because we beat the Warriors and Broncos, and still nothing changes.
Yeah, I think you guys just win both games this week.
Yeah, I think Warriors will probably win by like 1-12.
I think it's a fair
Nice
assessment.
start.
That's the last game of the round, I believe.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It is.
Well, it's been a decent episode with what's in it. Are you ready to close it out, boys?
I think so.
Thank you all for joining us tonight, and we will see you all later.